All right, how are we doing today, Toastmasters? In about a year, hopefully I'll have a job. I'm a poli-sci major, so maybe not. Hopefully I'll have at least an apartment. The only job offer I have involves me living in a tent in the Tennessee mountains, so it's even a farther possibility. But assuming at one point in my life these two characteristics do line up, I'm going to have trick-or-treaters at my house at one point. Now, when you ask someone where Halloween comes from, the answer you get a lot of the time is it's a pagan holiday. When in reality, it doesn't answer much about the question. It's a pagan holiday to have kids dressed like Batman show up at your door and ask for free food. There's something here there that doesn't connect with me, and I'm not sure if it connects with y'all. So what I wanted to do for my speech is to actually look up how this all started, how this all came about. And it turned out to be very interesting. Halloween actually started out as a holiday in ancient Celtic, so that's English, Irish tradition, called Samhain. And it began with the days becoming shorter. They believed that the sun god was dying. And because of this, they believed that the barrier between the spiritual realm and the real realm was at its thinnest. This wasn't necessarily a bad thing. It also meant your loved ones could come back. And as part of their tradition, they would light torches around their properties to guide the friendly ghosts in, and they made the torches kind of scary to keep away the bad ones. Now, they used a vegetable for this. You want to guess what vegetable they used? You're right, turnips. But another big part of this was they believed that ghosts could, I guess for lack of a better word, possess bodies of animals. So what they would do is they would leave food out in their front porch or in front of their hut. I didn't really see what they lived in. But they would leave food out for the animals to eat. Their neighbors got wise to this, though, the ones that didn't believe. Now, you can't just leave food out and have a guy come and get it. So you had to wear a disguise. So they'd take animal skins, drape them over themselves, and steal their neighbor's food. Pretty interesting, right? And it goes even farther. Now, Halloween actually became scary, sort of a taboo holiday, when the Romans came to England and started spreading Christianity there. The Catholic Church realized that they weren't going to be able to get rid of this tradition, so they decided to repurpose it. The original All Saints' Day was actually in March, and they decided to change the date to, it's sort of the similar thing. So they repurposed it, making it November 1st, changing the name of Samhain to All Hallows Eve. Another real interesting thing that popped up around this time, sort of in response to the Romans, was the first actual Halloween costume character came up. Another part of this time of the year was the harvest. Harvest means fertility, and their symbol of fertility was a big white horse called Lar-Ben. So if there's any history majors out there, any history aficionados who want absolutely no one to understand what your costume is, go as Lar-Ben, the white horse. But anyway, the Catholics obviously didn't like Halloween, Samhain being practiced. So what they did was they tried to demonize it as well, which is why we normally associate Halloween now with evil spirits or evil ghosts. And it takes a pretty interesting route throughout history that such a tradition can be changed by politics so long ago. Another big aspect of Halloween, it sort of died off in the Middle Ages because everyone was, dying of the plague and they didn't really have that much food to go around. But it really brought back form in America with the end of the Revolutionary War. There's a group of Revolutionary War vets called the Fantastics. And what they would do is they would get in their old Revolutionary War garb, get really, really hammered, just cause a big ruckus, and ask for handouts. So that's sort of what brought it back to America. Now, they didn't have turnips, or it went from turnips to gourds in Europe. All they had was all these pumpkins. So that's where jack-o'-lanterns come from, is repurposing turnips to gourds to pumpkins. But anyway, after that, 1800s, it sort of became a high society thing, more associated with the harvest, especially in the South. The seasonal foods that came out would be apples, bobbing for apples, pumpkins, and it became a huge tradition, and a lot of people had a lot of fun doing it. But the first actual trick-or-treating came out in the 1920s. They're the first records of actual kids with their parents going around asking for food. Obviously brought on by the roaring 20s and the economic boom coming there. And there was actually a list of what the most popular costumes there were. Charlie Chaplin, an Indian, and a toxie. No clue what a toxie is. I searched Google. I just got Toxic Avenger stuff, which is apparently a thing. But what I'm getting at is traditions start for really obscure reasons. Even at the Citadel, saluting comes from knights raising their visors up at each other. Things we do ripple in time and have huge effects on us. And the beautiful thing is they evolve. In a way, we're sharing a history with all these people we've never met before. I think it's a beautiful thing, Toastmasters. Thank you.